Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's market recap. We're going to be going over the trades that ended up fading today. We had three setups today, and I ended up fading every single one of them. So I'm going to be going over why I faded them, and the reason why I faded them is because I set myself scenarios before the session. I've been doing this recently, and it's been really improving the way I see the way I see just day trading. To be honest, in a sense, it's been getting me a lot better at trading and in backtesting, and I've been implementing it to my backtesting as well. It's been super nice. So coming into the market, this was looking really clean, by the way. Like if we look, I'm gonna go on the 4 hour and it's gonna spoil it here, but whatever. Just ignore that big dick handle to the downside there. Anyway, so we had this discounted 4 hour down here. We had this more premium sort of 4 hour here, and we had this 4 hour high above us here. So this was a 4 hour high instead of a 4 hour gap. And what did the overnight session do? Because obviously, cool, that's an obvious bullish bias. If you look at the 4 hour, whatever, we're in a market maker buy model. Like if you're trading ICT, this is a higher time frame bias. It's obviously going to be looking bullish here. If it was bearish, I don't know. I don't even want to ask you why you thought it was bearish, but anyway, people were saying, "Oh, we hit SMT, it's a high, whatever." Cool. Look where ES is. ES left a failure swing to this high here, and it also has all-time highs above it here. So they're basically in the same spot. This SMT on this high, I just didn't really see any significance from, and I can guarantee you that is not the reason why we dumped today. But anyway, coming into the market here, we had equal lows here at Asia. So basically bang on 15-minute equal lows that were created during Asia session, and these were inside of a hourly gap. So oh yeah, and sorry, for targets above that we had supporting us to go to this high, it was pretty nice. We had a failure swing at London session. So at London session, we had a failure swing towards this high, which is session liquidity, cool. And then obviously during I don't even know what this is. I guess it is probably London session again. We left this high here, which is low resistance liquidity in my eyes. Like this high is a really bad high, and it's not in anything significant at all. Reason being is that it's not inside of any key level. It's not inside of a 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute hourly gap. It's just a high internally, just sitting there, looking like it wants to be touched, right? Respectfully. So yeah, coming into the market, this is how I decided to play today. So I set myself conditions, right? Actually, technically, I didn't set myself conditions. I set myself scenarios, right? There were three scenarios that I set for today if we were going to be bullish. And those three scenarios were this. First scenario. So scenario number one. Apologies. Scenario number one was that market opens lower. Like scenario 1, 2, and 3 all have market opening lower because, of course, if we're going to be bullish, we want to see that 930 PO3 into a key level sweeping out something significant and then making a move higher from there, right? So scenario 1 was 930 to have that 930 PO3 open lower into this hourly gap, resweep the 15-minute equal lows inside this hourly gap, and then for us to displace higher and start looking for longs to the upside towards this low resistance liquidity. And these were also 15-minute equal highs on the S&P 500, London session high, and obviously final draw above. Cool. So from this, I would have taken any inversion. All right, if we came down here into this and we had an immediate nice displacement, I would have taken the whatever inversion within this leg. I would have taken it because this would have been like beautiful, right? A plus setup to the dome for sure skis. And then scenario number two. So scenario number two was this more premium 4 hour because of how bullish we were and because of how close we were to this high and how we left failure swings to it. I didn't really expect us to come very deep down in the range if we were going to be bullish for today. So what I was looking for was for us to sweep out the New York PM session low inside this 4 hour, get a reaction off of that. And at this point, we probably would have had an SMT involved, and then we could have taken longs from there. As well, I also would have been down to take an inversion from there, break even, or target a 5 minute that we created on the leg down, whatever. So that was scenario number two. So if we had an aggressive move lower, and then maybe like an SMT or ES only came down to here or whatever, that probably would have been nice. That was scenario number two for me for taking longs. Now, final scenario for bullish price action for me was this discounted 4 hour that we had in the range. So if we go to the 4 hour chart here, spoiler alert, because TradingView is weird and shows you the entire candle and is messing up my video. But whatever. This was um the CE of this 4 hour gap aligned with the C of the entire range, the higher time frame range. So this was looking pretty cool. If you wanted to come down here, now the thing, what the hell? Anyway, oh, that was the thing. Okay, cool. If we wanted to come down here, would I have taken the first inversion I seen? No. Right? Now, the reason why I would definitely not be looking for the first inversion I see from here is simply due to the fact for us to come down to that discounted 4 hour, we would have to drop basically 200 and no, this was where did the PM? Yeah, we'd have to drop 230 points, 240 points ish to the downside, and that is a very, very, very steep manipulation. That's more like a distribution, to be honest. That's very, very deep, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. Oof, Jesus, that was in one 15-minute candle as well. That's crazy. Okay, let's go back here. I skipped too far ahead. So cool. As you can see, first scenario absolutely railed. Second scenario also kind of railed. Right? Now I want to get into the first long that presented itself today, which I faded, and I felt was kind of an easy fade. Reason being is because this, like, you feel, look at this leg. This leg has one bullish candle in it here. Well, two now, I guess, but one here, and it's just literally bump, 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 bump. It's just a really steep leg. This isn't really like a manipulation leg. And the thing is, it could be though. It could have been a 4 hour. It could have been a higher time frame manipulation for us to rebalance this range to then move higher. But I was in no rush here. Like, I was in no rush to take any longs here. Reason being is because if we have a higher time frame manipulation and we're super bearish down to that, so we're moving very bearishly, very fast down to this, we're going to be very bullish. If we are going to be bullish today, we're going to be very bullish because it's higher time frame manipulation. So we're going to start making moves such as this. We're going to start moving higher, like very, very nice, very bullish price action is going to start playing out, right? If we are going to be bullish here. So I was in no rush whatsoever to take this trade. This was right. It's right here. Boom. This 2-minute inversion. What did we have as well? We had a 5-minute unfilled up here to target for like a mech model long, but it was just like I wasn't a fan. What I would have preferred to take if we were going to be bullish here was just waiting and sitting on my hands to see what we do. So if we make a move into this 5-minute, don't really show signs of respecting it, kind of like tap it a little bit, and then we come down to another 5 minutes that we make and we inverse out of that, I would have been all willing to take some longs to the upside from there. That would have been like a way cleaner setup with way better structure to long from, instead of just longing from this first 2-minute inversion, in my opinion. Now, there was something a bit nice about this 2-minute inversion, but overall, I really think this is a pretty bad trade, in my opinion. Now, if you guys think different in the comments, please feel free to go ahead and let me know why you thought this was good. But in my opinion, this trade is really not it. I just didn't like it. The structure above that we had was very bad to take longs off. And our draws on liquidity for this trade, like our actual draws on liquidity for this trade, are 250 points away, and we just had a 250 point dump. So like, that's 500 point. That'd be like what 200? Yeah, that'd be like that's a huge move. So I'd be way rather to be more patient. And I used to trade trades like this, and what it's called is it's catching a falling knife. And somebody get the the fire writing gif out here right now, because 9 times out of 10, when you try to catch a falling knife, you're gonna get stabbed. I've experienced it so many times, it's not even funny. So, just from my experience so far with trading, I did not want to take this long. Now, this long gets absolutely railed in seconds, right? In like 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes, this long gets absolutely shit on, which is fair enough, right? But the only decent thing about this trade was ES had some nice manipulation. Like if you look at ES came into this premium 4 hour here, set that New York PM session low, and it had that nice rejection and looked like it was displacing higher. So that was like the only valid reason why I see you could have taken this trade, was because of ES and how ES manipulated it. It was looking pretty clean. But just NQ terms, like this market structure is not it, and our draws on liquidity are over 250 points away. So it's just a trade that I would not be willing to take. I think overall it's just not a great trade in my opinion. I know a few people definitely took this, but I would never take a trade like this personally. Okay, so sorry, that my third scenario was, again, I kind of already explained my third scenario, but my third scenario was if we came down to this discount 4 hour and then started showing better market structure to actually be bullish and confirm that we were going to be bullish from this, I would have loved to take longs from there. So that's going to be basically it for today. I mean, okay, let's go over a few more setups that actually presented itself. Come down here. I think there was another. Yeah, we had this as well. This 2-minute inversion here. Like, again, like, are we being kind of serious with this one? I think this one actually ends up playing out, or maybe goes to break even. I think. Um, but like this 2-minute inversion, the rejection, the wick. If we just look at the wick here, the wick is what's 25 points, and the body, well, you can see just with your eyes, and because you have eyes and stuff, so you can see that the wick is definitely bigger than the body. It's just not a great inversion at all. And we are literally, there's a 5-minute right above us as well, I think. Yeah, so there was a 5-minute here to target, right here. But again, this trade was just absolutely slammed, and you're getting this is 10-15. It's just, I don't know. This trade was bad. Like, if a trade like this, right, if the first 2-minute is gonna fail, up here, you can be sure that this 2-minute is not really gonna offer that much either. Really shit inversion, bad displacement, and yeah, I think, did we have another setup here? Or what was? I think we had one more. That was like a 1 minute, maybe. No, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Either way, no matter what happened, I can't remember. It doesn't play out. And then we came into this 15-minute fair value gap, and then we had a short from there as well with this 2-minute short. Again, this was at like 11 a.m., so I'm not trading past 11 a.m. If I did, I'd be breaking my rules, and also in these market conditions, it's just not worth it. This does play out really nicely, though. I would have only targeted here. I would have just taken TP here, but this does play out pretty well. And that's basically it for today's recap. I faded every single trade today. Didn't take any trades. There was 2 longs, this long, and this one. This one was terrible. This one was a little better, but still pretty bad in my opinion. And yeah, basically the reason why I determined this was bad is because I already set this scenario in my head that we could come down to this discounted 4 hour, which is 250 points to the downside, then get an immediate inversion off like a 2-minute or something. But again, like, our draws on liquidity are so much higher. So if we're actually going to be bullish towards those draws on liquidity, we can expect to be patient. I could expect myself to be patient anyway and look for a continuation to target those longs. Or to target those highs, sorry, somewhere within this leg price, right? So yeah, that's basically it for today. I don't know what we did for the rest. Let me just get out a replay. I think we probably rebalanced. I don't know. Oh my god, Jesus, yeah. We absolutely shit the bed today. So the bias was just completely wrong today. We do have a lot of things going on in the world right now. We have a government shutdown and all that stuff. So this is probably something got to do with this. Yeah, huge rip to the downside. Not looking the best. Jesus, how much points did we actually drop today? I'd say probably like, yeah, almost, Jesus, 700 points to the 740-ish points to the downside. That's crazy. So that probably has something got to do again with the government shutdown, economic. Oh, it's not like Jaden Smith right now. The economic politics states of the world and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that it is what it is. Yeah, bias was completely wrong today. So coming into tomorrow, probably going to be looking more bearish, if anything. Hopefully this week isn't just like a complete shit fest where we just do this and now we're just going to do this. I mean, we'll see what happens in the overnight session and how we do what we do. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. That's how I ended up fading all the trades that presented itself, why I faded them, and what my scenarios were coming in today. And these are like I think scenarios is huge. Like, guys, set scenarios for themselves because they're low-key everything. Like, you need to look at, I had 3 different possibilities to look for longs today, and none of them happened, so I didn't take anything. Therefore, I ended up not losing today. I ended up walking away with no trades. I faded everything, and I'm happy I did, because now my account is not down like $400. So that's great. It is what it is. Stuck to my rules, stuck to my scenario, stuck to my plan, and it didn't play out, so I didn't take anything. That's going to be it for today's trade recap, guys. Let me know if this helped you at all, or if you maybe learned something from this, or if you took a trade today that you thought was good, or leave it down in the comments and let me know. I am on Instagram, TikTok, and my Discord is going to be in the bio of this video. So if you want to add me, DM me, whatever it may be, if you want to ask questions, talk to me personally, go ahead. If you want to leave a question in the comments, go ahead. I'll reply to every comment. I love hearing feedback from you guys. I'm going to be documenting my entire journey to profitability. So everybody's going to be able to see exactly what it took for me to go from unprofitable to profitable. So excited for the future and the journey ahead of me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll be uploading a trade recap tomorrow as well. So have a good one. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.